So hello everyone and welcome. I'm Anthony if it's your first time to this channel. And today this is part two of a two-part series for healing through yoga postures. So just some tips that have helped me to heal through yoga postures and to heal my back, and I hope they help you. Okay? So let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is patience. And this in itself is healing, just to cultivate patience in your life, right? But patience because it's a natural healing process, right? So things that heal quickly or quick fixes have side effects, right? Usually negative side effects. And this also has side effects, but just positive side effects, right? So maybe you no longer, yell at people for silly things, and you become calmer, which is an awesome positive side effect. But everything takes time to heal because it takes time to cause, right? So, in other words, an imbalance in the body takes time. Doing things over a long period of time in a poor way, with poor posture or something like that, it causes an imbalance in the body. And if you have an injury, then protecting that injury, this is over time, right? You live with that injury for a while and you start to tense up in other areas. And then the injury takes time to heal because the body takes time to do everything. It's natural. Anything natural takes time. So we need patience to do it naturally, right? You can do it the fast way, but then there's usually side effects with that, right? There's surgery or drugs or whatever it is that they have to give you. There's usually side effects with that, healing from the cuts in the body or the cut muscles and tendons and ligaments, whatever it is. So natural takes time, but it gets to the cause of everything, right? It gets to the root of the problem. It doesn't. We're not doing it trying to get rid of just symptoms, right? We're not trying to do this just to get rid of the discomfort or pain, but we're doing it's to heal whatever the cause is, whatever the root cause is of the problem. Okay? And remember, it's not a treatment. It's not something you're doing just to get rid of the problem. It has to become a way of life, and it will become natural, so don't get intimidated by that. But it naturally becomes a way of life because you see how good you feel, and then you just naturally want to incorporate it, and it doesn't become something that you have to force anymore, that you have to, really be disciplined to do, because you see the benefits, right? Once you see the benefits of something, it's natural and easy to do it, right? Like you see that you're brushing your teeth and flossing keeps your gums healthy, right? And you don't get infections, and you feel good, and you like the way your teeth look and all this stuff. Or you're taking a shower, you feel good, you smell good, you're clean, right? These things, it's the benefit. You see what it is already, so you do it, right? And this may take a little bit longer to see that benefit, but once you do see that, just like meditation, very tough to sit down at first, especially when the mind's wild. But if you do it and you get to that calm space where it's so nice and enjoyable and peaceful and calm and everything's okay always, then when you get there, then you don't care anymore, you actually want to do it. Not even like you don't mind doing it, but you want to do it, because you see the benefit. The second thing is props. Okay, this is teaching classes. I see this all the time. It's our ego, right? I understand. I tried to push myself a lot and got injured a lot. So we don't want to, what's the point, right? The point is not to get somewhere, right? It's healing. We're talking about healing here. So use the props. There's nothing wrong with props. It means you're intelligent, right? It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you need help. It means you're smart enough to be aware of where you are instead of being unintelligent enough or unaware to see where you actually are, and then you injure yourself, right? And you're not getting the benefit of the posture anyway when the posture is poor, right? You're stretching in the wrong place usually. If you don't use the prop and you need the prop to be in the right position, you'll be stretching in the wrong place, okay? So please look at props in a different light. Look at it like a good comparison is weightlifting gloves, right? So if you've ever done pull-ups or lifted weights in any way, but especially pull-ups because you're pulling a lot more weight, you know that what happens is you have to build calluses on the pads of your fingers, right? If you before you build calluses, it's very, very tender. It's like playing the guitar and pushing on the strings. Your fingers get very soft and bleed. Your skin, you get blisters and your skin breaks and stuff. And you can't do a lot of pull-ups, even if you have the strength, just because your hands are soft, right? So option one is the way to, I want to push through it and tough it out. Then I'm going to keep doing pull-ups, getting blisters until I get calluses, great, and then I can do a bunch, okay? Then you have big calluses on your hands and rough hands, right? Nobody likes to be touched by rough hands, right? Or you can be intelligent and use the wonderful tools we have and with our intellect that we've created, right? And weightlifting gloves. So if you use gloves, you don't need to build any calluses. You can do all the pull-ups you want, and you can still have soft, lovely hands to massage people with or whatever you want to do with them, okay? So work smarter, not harder, right? These things are here for a reason. Props are so beneficial for recovering from injury, right? Because injury tends to limit us initially. And then these props, it's amazing the things that can be done with this if you allow yourself to let go of the goal. And remember, it takes time. Be patient. Everything takes time, especially healing. It's natural. So be patient and use all the tools available to you. Why not? You'll get there eventually, right? Don't focus on the goal. If you focus on the goal, there's always a problem. It's never enough. You're never there, right? Because there's always another goal. Focus on each moment, right? What you're doing right now, that's all, right? Because the next moment's not promised to us, to be honest, right? So just focus on what you're doing now, your progress, and before you know it, that you'll see progress. Right? But if you're always looking for progress, then you're always looking ahead, and it'll never be enough, no matter where you get. Okay? So be patient. Focus on the healing. Focus on the peace, calm, slow, be relaxed. Remember, you want to stimulate your rest and digest, not fight or flight. Right? So it's not an anxious, active thing. It's very calm. Breathe. Be patient. I know it's the hardest thing at first because the mind gets very uncomfortable slowing down, right? Because we always think faster we get more done. But that's not true, especially not in healing and especially not with natural things, right? Nothing natural in the world rushes. We're the only things around here rushing. And the third thing, the last thing for this video, is questioning. Right? So we could say self-inquiry if you like, but it's investigating and experimenting in the postures, right? So you have to be your own teacher, we all have to be our own teacher because you're the only one who knows what's going on in your body, right? No one outside you can, no matter how much they think they know, I never know what's going on inside your body or anyone I've ever taught. I only know what I feel in my body, so that's what I teach from. I can ask you, but that's the only way I know, okay? So questioning. Imbalance, right? So chronic imbalance in your body leads to injury or pain. There's so many things that aren't, unless it's an injury like an accident or some sort of fall or something like that. If it's not an impact injury, then it's a lot of imbalances are caused over time, right? You see this in your body. You look at your own body, you'll know. You see, like, you lean more on one side of the foot, more pressure on the inside of the foot, more on the outside. One of your back muscles, the right or the left, is huge compared to the left one, right, or the right one, whatever. Your neck muscles, like this shoulder's higher than this shoulder. So many ways we do it in our lives. Can you lift the same amount of weight with your right hand as you can with your left as many times, right? A lot of times we don't focus on this, but gradually over time this causes imbalance in the body and then pain. Eventually it tilts us, different ways. So our muscles control our bones, right? Our bones don't do anything by themselves. They can't move. So it's the tensing and softening of our muscles that moves like a marionette. That's what we're like. We're like puppets on strings, but our muscles are the strings. Okay? And we can control them. We can control the strings. Okay? So some strings are longer, some are shorter, but we want to balance them out so all the strings are the same length and everything moves the same. Okay? So one thing you can try to do this, what I suggest is when you're doing the postures, especially symmetrical postures, in other words, if you're folding forward, both of your legs are the same, you're folding forward, everything, if you cut a line right up the center of your body, it's the same on both sides, okay? And those postures you can really compare. So feel, for example, on your right foot. Where's the pressure on your right foot? Where is it on your left foot? Right? Is it on the inside, outside, big toe pad, small toe pad, inside or outside of your heel? This might sound like a lot or complex, but it becomes very second nature when you practice. Okay? Practice regularly and be aware of this. And then you see the balance is being fixed and you're benefiting and your body feels better, then you'll do it. You know, you want to do it. So compare the sides and the posture. And what I suggest is trying to even it out, right? So this is a good way to do this is doing twice as much on one side. In other words, if you see that this abdominal, right, your oblique on your right side, your side abdominal muscle here, okay? If you see this one's very tense and this one's very soft and you don't feel very controlled over it, right? Instead of doing the same amount of crunch on each side, right, do twice as much on your soft side, right, until you even it out and you feel that, this side is as strong as this side, right? So it's a blend between strengthening. You would strengthen this side and you would stretch this side for twice as long, right? So that actually will even out the body. So try not to worry about if it's even. Try to look past your OCD for a few minutes and stretch on this side and then do twice as much on this tight side, right? So that way you wind up evening it out and then come to balance first, right? Always move towards balance, right? Coming to balance and then you can work from there, right? But first try to balance everything out because the habits made us very uneven, right? I'm still finding things all the time that something else new to work on, something new to work on, new imbalance, my hip, my back. So there's always something, it just gets more and more subtle. And if you're interested in the style of yoga, Rodney Yee is a good person. He studied with Iyengar. There's a man named Iyengar style. It can get a little extreme sometimes, and honestly, depending on the teacher, can get a little obsessive about alignment. But Iyengar himself, if you read his books, he is very good, very focused on like balancing sides, balancing muscles, and making everything even. He talks about that a lot. And I won't get into it, but there's been some misconceptions with it where he's talking about internal balance and people start to focus on external alignment, which is a misconception and not actually beneficial because everyone's body's different. The feeling is what matters. So focus inside. Does it feel balanced? Not does it look balanced, So a mirror can be helpful, but don't always go by the mirror. Use your feeling, right? And here's an example. So what feels right in your body? It shouldn't be sharp pain. You should never hurt, right? But there's going to be some discomfort. There's a big difference between pain and discomfort. So discomfort, we can say like a muscular stretching sensation, okay? That's discomfort. And or strengthening, right? My muscle is tired because I'm holding this posture long and my muscles aren't used to it. So muscle discomfort from strengthening, like a sore tired muscle, or muscular discomfort from stretching, like a sore muscle from stretching, not a pulled muscle, not a sharp pain. These are normal, the discomforts, right? But you know the difference between discomfort and pain, right? In other words, where you feel in your body something is wrong, something bad happened, right? Something very unbeneficial to my body happened, right? That's pain. So you should never feel pain. But discomfort is normal, it's part of it, right? So example, if you fold forward, right? You just regular forward fold, right? You fold down. Now, if you have back issues, right? You fold from your low back, like your sacrum area, okay? So above your butt, let's say that, so you can have a nice reference point. If you go to the top of the crack of your butt, okay? We'll just be blunt here. The top of the crack of your butt. If you fold from there, right? And you have low back problems, it's probably not going to feel nice. It's probably going to be bothering your back. So folding from there, you see if it feels good or not for your body. Okay? If you move down below your butt, right? The crease below your butt, right? Like the little crease formed by the fat tissue of your butt. There's like a little crease at the bottom. And if you fold from there, use that as a reference point. If you fold from there, then you'll see the difference. You're folding from your hips, right? Which naturally, very easily move that way. But your spine isn't like an elbow joint, right? It's not one joint like this. It's a bunch of joints, and they're not hinge joint. They call these hinge joints, right? So this is a hinge joint. It just goes like this, right? That's the action. That's all it does. But your spine's not like that. It has a bunch of material between the bones, right? And liquid and softness. So over compressing your spine is not healthy for the discs, okay? So it's not like we're trying to fold forward from the back, because that doesn't work. It's not like a snap, like a hinge joint. This one is fine, but your hip, it's not technically a hinge joint, but it acts in the same way, because it's just one joint, right? So you can fold forward from your hips, and there's not a bunch of material between your hip that's not supposed to be compressed sharply like that, right? But in your back, that's the case, and a lot of times if you try to fold down from your back sharply, of course you're going to feel excessive pressure here, because that's not healthy for your back. It should be gentle, right? If you ever feel discomfort, so that's why you feel into your body. If you ever feel discomfort or pain, back off, right? You know if there's a sensation like it feels right or it doesn't feel right, okay? And listen to yourself, right? Learn to discern that, and focus on that. If it doesn't feel right, play with it, right? Come up. This is where the props come in handy, right? Be an experiment. Don't take my word for anything. Don't take anyone's word for anything. Experiment yourself. Find out for yourself. Hold the props and feel, adjust, right? Change. Where can I move from? Where can I stretch from, right? How can I change this? And then find, right? Oh, like folding from below my buttocks. Wow, there's no discomfort in my back whatsoever, and I feel like I'm stretching my hamstrings or the backs of my thighs. Great, then you got it. But if you're folding and you feel discomfort and it feels more strange, or especially strange is not a good feeling, right? If you feel some strange sensation, focus on hips, right? Focus on the joints. Move from the joints, fold from the joints, right? Rotate evenly, right? Try not to rotate if you're twisting. Try not to rotate from one spot, right? Just in my low back, or especially not in the low back. But try not to focus on one spot, but rotate evenly, right? Lift your chest, draw down your back. So play with engaging muscles and do it in a very slow and soft way, so that you're not causing injury by doing anything quickly, right? That your body isn't used to. Do it gently, soft, experiment. This is patience, right? It's so important. Okay? So went on a little long there, but if you have any questions, feel free to comment and let me know. I'll answer to the best of my ability. And until next time, take care, happy practicing. So be patient, do the best you can, be patient with yourself, and let go of some ideal of the way your body's supposed to be, right? Accept it as it is, where you are, where it is, and care for it, love it, give it care. That's what your body needs the most to heal. Don't ever be Don't ever look at your body as a problem, right? Because it's a gift. So see you next time.